dear me. We need a goal before half-time. And I can see a fan there saying, wake up, wake up. And I do agree with him. Because I just think that the players should be doing more. I know the manager's finished. We know the manager's gone. But the players are, there's World Cup winners there. There's players who've scored more goals than Ronaldo and everybody else at 24. There's a pass on here if he sees it. It's a good job we didn't see it there. The overlap was there. We've still got the overlap. This is like an exhibition for Newcastle. They're loving it. McTominay in trouble again. The pass wasn't good from Young.
No,
Young,
it wasn't good.
I don't know how he didn't give a foul. It was a foul, Young.
It's a corner anyway.
To be honest with you, I don't think I've seen a worse performance in a United shirt than Ashley Young's today. It's crap.
Well, I was going to say he's usually, he's not great defensively, but he's usually solid enough. He's probably played his worst game today, but it's not even by a long ways. And you've been made the captain of this club, and this is the performance you turn in. But
this is humiliation for Jose Mourinho.
Yeah.
At the moment,
got that cool new haircut.
God.
You know why he got that cool new haircut, Marcus? So he could interview for his next job.
Remember to subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. There's going to be some very interesting fan cams coming after the game. And match reaction, and all over the international break as well. I think it's going to be, whatever happens, I think the international break is going to be a very big one for Manchester United. We're either going to be pushing to get a new manager or getting a new manager. Because even if we turn this around now, I think it doesn't matter. It almost doesn't matter if United win this game. And some would say we've got no chance. But even if we did win this game now, it doesn't matter. There's too much wrong with this club, I remember Newcastle being 4-0 down at St James's Park against Arsenal and getting back to 4-4. It didn't solve the problem that season that they were a crap team, but they just found some pride and amazement in that 45 minutes to get back in it. And maybe United can do that in the second half. But I don't think it solves the problem of what's wrong with the club.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Anna Reddit says... Go on. Sorry, mate.
No, go ahead.
Anarud says, just like a sacking is coming when a manager gets a vote of confidence, a loss is coming when you predict a win. Jose needs to go, but you'd think with the talent of players, they would be able to just go out and play naturally and win. This is Nightmare TV. I think that's the thing for me. I am going to be very consistent about that. Of course, Jose Mourinho needs to go because his tactics and team selections are an embarrassment to the club. But whatever happens at Manchester United, if we lose this game, I will be very critical of the players because there are individuals out there who should be able to produce something in a game like this. How is he not given a corner there? It blatantly goes off the wall. It hits Ashley Young's hand in the box as well. So we might have got away with a double one there. Handball and a corner. Could have been a penalty.
That could have been a hat-trick right there.
That was Ashley Young's hat-trick. Thanks to the ref. You've just kept us in it. Bloody hell. Well, maybe that can be a little bit of luck that Newcastle look back on and go, we were 2-0 up. We should have had a penalty. How did we lose the game?
Oh, my God. This guy, Lukaku just kicked this ball out of bounds with nobody near him.
That was a penalty, that was.
You know what the thing is for me, Mark, is that the results fine, the playing fine, whatever, that they can't play proper football, they're not getting the results, but it's just they don't even look like they're a team out there. That they're not creating any chances because nobody's got a clue of where the hell they should be. They're just, it's like you're playing with some guys that you just met at the park for the first time. They're in again.
Yeah, luckily he got a nosebleed there. Is that Diame, is it?
Yeah.
If he'd looked up, I think he had a pass. Pogba. 41 minutes. It's see the time that that now the half is whizzing by a bit. Ben London, are you sure you wouldn't rather Gary Rowett, Mark? I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I just saw a comment that was saying
I'd have my window cleaner Gary at the moment. Pogba with a shot.
Tame.
Yeah, it was tame.
No, I was just saying there that I saw a comment that was saying that, you know, a lot of people were getting on Arsenal fans for being disrespectful towards Wenger wanting him out, but he built something at the club. He had built almost 20 plus years of history at the club, invented a new brand of football for their club. Mourinho's done nothing for this club, you know, Europa League apart. He's not. This is not the club for him. This club, I said to you, Mark, months ago, this club is too big for him. I don't think he realized how big this club was, and
I think it's too big for his
he's
ego.
going on his past reputation.
At Chelsea and at Real Madrid, he was bigger than the club. And I think that's the way he's always managed. I'm Mourinho. But nobody's bigger than Manchester United. And it became a problem at Real Madrid because they're a big club as well. But I think at Chelsea, at Porto, at Inter, you can almost get away with being, I'm bigger than the club. And that's what Mourinho's always done. You can't be bigger than Manchester United. You've got to, you know, Sir Alex Ferguson always said it. You've got to put the fans first. You can't mistreat the fans. You've got to have the fans on side. You've got to play a certain brand of football. And I think Mourinho thought, no, I don't. I don't need to do that. And, well, you do. And that's why it's too big for him, this job.
It's just grim. It's so grim. I can't even see a way back into the game because it's not like we're just ripping them apart down the wings or even playing through the middle. I don't see anything. I don't see anything to suggest that we're going to get anywhere near a goal, let alone 2 goals. And that's you still have to keep them out.
Well, yeah, if I was Newcastle, I'd still be thinking in the second half, keep going for it, because the opportunities are there, especially with Scott McTominay at centre-back. I'd be like, bloody hell, we should at least get another goal in this game. Regardless of what United do, they're going to have to win 4 to win this. Score 4. Well, we're getting close to half-time now. I think he'll make substitutions at half-time, Jared. Do you? Not Jared, sorry. Dan. Getting used to the American.
No, it's all good. Yeah, we probably all sound alike anyway, but there was a comment that said there was a comment that said, "Can you get this guy to blow his nose?" It's just the way I talk, mate. It's just my demeanor. I'm very calm and collected. It's a New York thing.
Yeah, I do think he'll make changes at half-time, though. I'd be amazed if Anthony Martial survives the first half.
But who do you bring on? Because they're not going to bring Fred on.
He's going to I think he'll bring Alexis Sanchez on. And he's got to get Fellaini on as well, hasn't he? Let's be honest. Sanchez and Fellaini are probably his last 2 substitutions. I've got a few super chats to read here, but United were on the attack, not anymore. That's dead. Andres Escoval says, Manchester United losing airtime here in the States because we're looking like a small club next to City and Liverpool. Any chance I can Skype you? Skype show on a Monday night, mates. And we're nearly about to hit half-time. We're just almost hoping that a goal will come. Jay Marata says, Martial and Pogba will get sub for Sanchez and Fellaini as a fuck you to the United fans. Mourinho wants the sack and he's paying instead of getting no dollars from quitting. You know what? I do think that, though, for all these people who are backing Jose Mourinho, you know, when he's gone, he'll slate this club. You should not have any loyalty to Jose Mourinho. When he goes, he will slate this club to kingdom come, unless we do what we did with Van Gaal and get a sort of, not a restraining order. Get him to say he's got to keep quiet for a couple of years or something like that, because he's Mr. Mourinho, isn't he? He's brand Mourinho, so he will come out, he will slate the board, he will slate the players. We've got a chance to get a goal here.
The tell-all book is right around the corner.
Yeah.
I didn't get what I wanted in the summer of 2018. It'll all be out there for all to see, and then. I just hope by that point we've restored at least back to the playing style that we're used to seeing.
United wanted a handball there. Skips past Shaw. He'll be booked for that because we were on a good break. He had to take the yellow card. Was it Shaw or was it McTominay? I think it was Shaw.
Looked like Luke Shaw, yeah.
Yeah,
Was
it
it
would have been
McTominay?
Shaw because McTominay was forward. That probably was a penalty to United, to be fair. That probably was a penalty.
It's hit him right in the chest from
But we
where
can't
I
moan,
see
we
it.
can't
It'll hit him
moan
right
too
in the
much
chest.
anyway because Ashley Young gave a penalty away before that.
Why?
Well, he's going to blow up any second now, and the meltdown at half-time will commence.
You're about to blow up any second now. It's going to go off like a bunch of dynamite.
I tell you what, I
Just-
don't know.
You're reserved to the fact already that it's just gone.
I still think we can get back into the game. There's a super chat. I'm purposely waiting to sort of prompt the half-time chat here, but I was shocked that we went 2-0 down in 10 minutes. I'm not shocked that you know. I am shocked. I mean, right, it's half-time. Let me just stop the clock and we'll get this half-time thing going. So, there's a super chat here from Aaron Swan saying, we disrespected Newcastle. You disrespected Newcastle, Mark, with your easy 3 points title. Embarrassing. Still don't know why you were so confident. Look, what I would say to that, Aaron, is I've taken the L on that. You know, I've got it wrong. But I think every Manchester United fan has every right to expect Manchester United, with the players we've got, to beat Newcastle at home when Newcastle haven't won all season and are in the bottom three. That is not confidence. That is an expectation that a club of Manchester United's stature and ability, you should expect that. Having said that, Newcastle absolutely deserve to be 2-0 up. They probably should be 3-0 up. We did sod all in that half, apart from get schooled by a team in the bottom three, who are not scared of us, who carved us open numerous times. And to confound that, we've seen Eric Bailly, who is a centre-back, come off for Scott McTominay to go centre-back, who looks lost. Ashley Young's playing at right-back, and he's probably put in the worst performance I've seen from a right-back in United history. It's a shambles, and it's an absolute, for me, it's on the players as much as it's on Mourinho. We know Mourinho, well, most of us know Mourinho needs to go. He needs to go, and how he survives this, even if we win this game, is beyond me. But that is an eye-opener to the players as well. I mean, you're telling me against Newcastle that Lukaku, Rashford, Pogba, Martial, Matic, Mata, Ashley Young, Luke Shaw, Smalling, Bailly, whoever else is on that pitch, can't get a hold of that game. I don't know what's going on there. I can't understand why Manchester United are not able to get hold of a game of football at Old Trafford in front of 75,000 fans. It's beyond me. It really is.
Yeah, I just don't think that the players just... I think they kind of know the writing's on the wall. I'm not saying they're mailing it in, but, like I said earlier, they just... There's no real tactics out there. Like, what's the... this might be his last game, right? And what's the philosophy? There's still no philosophy. There's no, let's get it to the wings and we'll put in, 1,000 crosses like Moyes did and we'll try to score that way. Or we'll play through the middle and whatever. We don't have a clue of what we're doing. The players don't have a clue of what we're doing. It's a mess. And that's why I think you're getting the performance. I don't think it... Like I said, I think a little bit's on the players because with the individual talent they have should be enough to at least not concede 2 goals like that and to get some goals of your own. But I'm just seeing nothing. There's no cohesion. There's no, you're supposed to be here, you're supposed to be there, make the run, do that. It's like I said, you found your friends, not even your friends, a bunch of strangers playing in the park. You said, can I get included in your game? You walked on and you have no clue how you're playing, just trying to score. That's it.
No fear, no reservation, no idea that they were actually in the bottom three, Newcastle. They came, they saw, they conquered. They played good football, they pressed, they moved the ball fast. They did everything I said to the Newcastle fan on Thursday that I didn't think Newcastle actually could do. I said, the way you hurt us, you're getting down our right-hand side, you exploit our right-back, you play the ball quickly on the ground, and that's how teams cause United problems. I didn't think Newcastle could do that. I didn't think they would do that. Benitez... They've lost a lot of games, but they don't normally concede many goals. They couldn't hit the ocean from a boat. And in the first 10 minutes, they're carving us open. They're exploiting our right-hand side. I mean, I'm tempted to say I wish I'd kept my mouth shut, but to be honest, Rafa Benitez is a decent coach. He will know what United's problems are. It was Mourinho's choice to play Ashley Young today. He was at fault for both goals. And we've created next to nothing. Nothing's been created. Stephen Diak says, Mark, do you think Jose will walk? That's for after the game. We've got the match reaction show afterwards. We'll be taking your calls, of course we will. We'll be discussing Mourinho being sacked last night, the club backing him today. What does this result mean? We'll be talking about that afterwards. I don't know. We've got 45 minutes to get 3 points. That's what I'm bothered about. Avishak Chatterjee says, you know what? Everyone get out Old Trafford. Mourinho, the players, the board. De Gea is the only person who can say he's a Manchester United man. And Red Baron says, love this American's accent. He sounds like a gangster from those old 90s movies. New York, isn't it, Dan? That's what it's all about.
Yes, sir. I wish I was at the bottom of the river right now. They always say in those types of movies, because watching this, I'd rather have my eyes burned out. It's just not. It's nowhere near good enough, and the style is nowhere near good enough. The players ain't got a clue. But more importantly, like, there's just so much of the fans turning against each other. There's a lot of fans today slating the attackers. They barely got the ball. They've barely gotten the ball today.
There's a lot of work to be done with that team, isn't there? Whatever happens.
Big time.
I actually think that for the next manager, if it's going to be Mourinho getting the sack, I think the next, as a Manchester United fan, I will say this right now. You can plead for Mourinho to be sacked, and I think Mourinho does need to go. But let's not start running away with ourselves saying, oh, a new manager's going to solve the problem. I think it will solve the problem in the way we play football, because the way we play football and the selections that Mourinho makes, and let's not forget, that is an important thing. Why is Scott McTominay starting today? Why is Fred not playing? Why is Pereira not playing? You could even say, why is it 1 week Martial, then it's Sanchez, then it's Rashford? Why is it changing around all the time? Why is Lukaku starting when he's playing so poorly? The tactics are set by Mourinho, and he needs to go. But what I've seen today is that, Alex Bursell says Zidane does not play defensively. He relies on individual defenders' performances, and Real Madrid have got world-class defenders. Manchester United do not. Well, Mourinho's bought 2 of those defenders. But what I feel, Dan, is that whoever the next manager is, and we will be patient, because a new manager should not be being you shouldn't be saying, if Zidane comes in and we get bad results, we shouldn't be saying Zidane out at Christmas. Jurgen Klopp came into Liverpool in October and he finished 8th. That's what we've got to accept if and when Mourinho goes in the next couple of weeks, because don't expect a new manager to come in and get us top 4. He's not even starting on a level playing field. He's going to be starting with us potentially in 10th, 12th place, points behind, and he's got no transfer window, and you can't really do a lot in January either. So, if Mourinho goes, we're still in a massive, massive mess. We're currently in 11th place on 10 points, and we would be, we'd be 7 points off top 4 if we lose this game. But Chelsea are playing tomorrow, so they'll probably win. We'd be 8 points off top 4 if we lose this game, conceivably, and probably 12 points off the top. So it's
right,
it's
and still haven't played any great teams. Still have to play Chelsea, City, Liverpool, Arsenal. It's going to get worse before it gets better.
We've
and that's
not
why
played anybody. You said that as well. We've not. You go through those teams you're on about in the first half. We haven't actually played anybody traditionally good. We've played a lot of teams in the bottom half of the table. I think, aren't Brighton are bottom half. West Ham are bottom half. Obviously Newcastle are bottom half. Burnley are bottom half. Leicester are nearly bottom half. Watford 8th. Wolves are 7th now. So yeah, we've not apart from Spurs at home, we've not even played anybody any good, and we're on this terrible, terrible run.
Right, and that's why the next appointment, whoever it's going to be, whenever it's going to be, they got to do their homework, and they have to get the right guy in, because I do like Zidane. I think he'll get the best out of 2 of our better players, if not our best players, Pogba and Martial. But I was listening to what you and Ross were talking about earlier, and you need somebody who's going to have more of an affection to the club, and we'll get back to playing the style, and there's going to be something more than just, let me just try to rebuild and then I'll be out of here in 4 years. That'll always be the danger with a guy like Zidane. Bigger teams are always going to want him to coach them, and Pochettino probably too. And I used to look at Eddie Howe and think that would just be a horrible appointment, but now it's not looking so bad, because I think he would be so thankful almost to even be in the position that he'd be in should he be the manager. I think he would give everything he could, and then some to the team. I'm not saying that's who I would have, but I understand the reason for a guy like that. The next appointment's got to be right, and I see a lot of people have reservations about Zidane, and I would too. But anything's better than this right now, you know.
Daniel Knight said, "Would a new manager solve all the problems for United, or do you think there's more behind this, like maybe a lack of passion from the players?" I to be honest with you, I think there may be problems with the players, but I always look at Chelsea. I've seen Chelsea under VS Boas, under Mourinho.